let's be real. There was a lot of things to be worried about in this movie. But I'll be honest, a lot better than I thought it was going to be. What is poppin', everybody, and welcome to another episode of 20,000 Films Under the Sea. I'm your captain tonight, or Noah Pearson, alongside my co-producer. It is DJ Simfix.
Oh yeah, it's a me, Jay.
It's a me, Jay. Yeah, you are him. Yeah. DJ, how's your Friday going, man?
Friday's going good, man. I went to see a movie. Took a nap. Ate 3 shrimp tacos and 1 chicken sandwich.
That sounds dope. That's like the fucking best Friday, dude. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm always down for shrimp tacos, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, it's like this. It's this like Nashville hot chicken place, and they like fried the shrimp like Nashville hot chicken style.
Oh yeah, and, okay.
They
Now
had
we're
like
talking.
Coleslaw, got the sauce in there in the taco. You know.
Yeah, that's hot. I like that. I like that a lot.
Smacking.
Yeah,
I mean, I made love to that taco because I have no one else to make love to today.
Hey, you know what? That's all right, man.
you know what's crazy? Wait, you know what's crazy? So I go to the gym. Right? I have a gym membership, right? And they always text me for like if there's a delay or like if they're closed or if there's like a special offer on their own like whey protein. I get a text today. Here, let me read it. I'm like, I might cancel my gym membership after this.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Okay. What do we got going on here?
Ready to find your swole mate this month? Grab a workout partner and crush your goals together. Let's make this month all about getting stronger together. And this is the picture. Find your swole mate. I'm pissed. How do they know?
I would also leave that gym. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
I'm just sitting here alone.
Your soulmate, dude. That's crazy.
What do you mean I gotta find a soulmate? How did you know I was single? So you gotta either what if I chose to be single on Valentine's Day?
All that. But also the word soulmate, like that's a fireable offense in my book.
Them just owning it, that's
disgusting.
Problematic.
If someone was, if I was at my job, right? If someone was at my job, they came up to me and said, "Yo, man, you want to be swole mates today?" I'm like, "Yo, bro, back up! I'm calling HR.
Get the fuck away from me.
Get that guy out immediately.
Get the fuck off me, man. That is crazy, dude. Oh my god. Well, fucking, you know what, DJ? You don't need a swole mate. You just need yourself in shrimp tacos.
I mean, I have like half a swole mate, maybe. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
okay.
And that big bear you had. What happened to that big stuffed bear that you had?
There's your swole mate. You know what I'm saying? That's it, right there.
We took care of him.
You killed the bear?
For sure.
No, he's in the other room.
But speaking of eating the taco, we also have the queen of bitchin' herself.
Why was that your segue?
Genesee Gabrielle.
Because of my wife.
Yeah. That's why.
Lesbian. Wait, lesbian.
Lesbian. Genesee, how are you?
You never told me you were gay.
Yeah, I've been in the closet this whole time. I never ever talked about being gay or my wife or our Subaru or
yeah.
How could I ever known? I don't think I.
You couldn't have. I'm so covert. Yeah, I'm really undercover.
This might be This might be the gayest episode we've had. We're all. I mean, we're somewhere.
Arguably, yeah.
This is the gayest episode. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Get those heteros out of here.
For the perfect movie too.
If you listen to hetero, get out.
Get out of here.
This isn't for you.
We're allies. We accept everybody, regardless of how boring you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you're a chode, then like maybe we're
unless you're a bigot. We
don't accept that shit.
You shouldn't be listening anyway.
Genesee, we haven't seen you in a little while. Why don't you give us a brief update on what's been up with the Genesee herself?
Oh my gosh. Okay, we moved. We are in an adorable little place now. We have our own backyard. It's crazy. We
Backyard
have
Rubik's
this
Cube,
pink
yeah.
Nespresso. Yeah, backyard Rubik's Cube. We have this pink Nespresso now, which is my entire identity is I'm a lesbian with pink Nespresso and a Subaru. And that's my
whole. I mean, that's all you need in life. To be fair, you got to figure it out.
DJ, it was really funny. We were trying to figure out, like, coordinate how things were going to go with like the snowstorm that hit in Portland, and like how people were going to get to the movie, things like that. And Genesis was like, we might try to go anyways. We do have a Subaru, and I was like, wow, that is the like lesbian car of lesbian cars, dude.
Like it gives lesbians superpowers. Like you could go anywhere in a Subaru.
It's like for real.
It's like Mrs. Fritz's school bus. You know, you could just go anywhere. You know, and she's pretty much a lesbian too. Mrs. Fritz is a lesbian. I guarantee.
Yeah,
guarantee.
Canon. Yep. Absolutely.
Canon. That's not even headcanon. That is the canon. That's got to be it.
It's so true.
But no, that's like just a Subaru would take you anywhere.
Yeah, it's amazing because like Subarus like historically have been marketed to lesbians. Like they were trying to get into the market, so it's an actual thing. But we live in Portland, Oregon, which is, I don't know if we're still the gayest city in the U.S., but we're definitely up there. We're like
high.
top 10.
Yeah, like definitely top 5. Definitely for sure top 5. Arguably top 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Behind like
we're really
Fran,
gay,
right?
Yeah. And so like one night we were picking my sister-in-law up, and she was like standing on the corner in downtown Portland, like waiting for us to come get her. And she's like, okay, I'll just look for the 2 women in a silver Subaru. Right. And she was like, in the 5 minutes that I was waiting on that counter, saw 7 silver Subarus with 2 women in them. And that's not counting the silver Subarus that were driven by one person or a man and a woman, and it's not counting the Subarus of other colors.
Ain't that right?
And those things are, and Subarus are just built, like they're just built to last.
They're built.
And, you know, you can't have, if you're gay, you can't have a vehicle that will just shut down on you. Because like that's just you got places to be, you got things to do.
Yeah,
you know.
And like, what if the apocalypse happens? Like, I just feel like all gay people are like kind of always ready for the apocalypse.
Because so like all the lesbians that I know, they just have this affinity of moving to the Pacific Northwest and potentially owning a Subaru. And I think that's like all their dreams, and either that or like owning a ranch in the middle of nowhere and raise animals. I think that's all the lesbians I've ever met. That's everything.
It's where we belong.
It is 100%.
Absolutely.
But tonight we're not talking about smashing clams. Tonight we're talking about wonderful, wonderful superhero movie, because this is 20,000 Films Under the Sea. Your choice for all the nerdy pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want each and every week. If you like that, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services near you.
Near you.
A little bit of a weird throat today. But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest entertainment, that is cool with us. Yeah, I know, right? You can watch us record this show live right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show.
I'm trying to get into some weird throat too, man.
Yeah, dude. That's saying, dude. I woke up this morning, I was like, it's Friday. Let's get some weird throat, dude. That's what I'm talking about. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. DJ, tell them.
Prime Gaming.
And we would love for you to give that to us to help keep the lights on and cameras rolling. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, hitting subscribe, or by leaving a review on our podcast by searching 20,000 Films Under the Sea. We'll be right there waiting for you. Genesaw.
Yeah.
We have some director's commentary. Guys, we have lots of new episodes of content out currently. Our episode 3 of Dungeons & Dragons, Songs of the Abyss, is out now. We have the Shipwreck Show, brand new episode. We go over some super duper secrets that people anonymously sent me. And then Good Kraken's death ratio happened on Wednesday. That went live. That is Garrick and Devin getting a chance to talk about some very fun stuff over there. So you guys go ahead and check out all of that wonderful content. But speaking of the D&D show, Songs from the Abyss officially is on TikTok and Instagram. You guys can find that at TikTok. Songs from the Abyss DND. That is the letters DND on TikTok and Instagram. We are having that page exist as its own page right now. Just kind of see where things go with that. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of see what happens.
We're targeting you, Gen Z and Gen Alpha. We're going for you.
And then here pretty soon we'll have it on Blue Sky and I don't know, maybe not Twitter. Maybe we won't do Twitter. But if we do it on Blue Sky, though, I can post nudes. It'll be great.
Elon.
I'll post good Kraken nudes. It'll be perfect. I'll have like little Kraken pasties. No? Okay. Oh, shit. God damn it. Dude.
This will be my last podcast episode. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
And then lastly, guys, we are just a month away from the anniversary / birthday of Good Kraken. That's right. You guys know it as officially Good Kraken Fest, baby. That is our 1 week long celebration where we celebrate the birth of the wonderful Kraken himself, Carl, and all of us getting together to decide to waste our days and lives talking about dumb shit people don't really want to talk about on the internet. Well, we like talking about it, so we're here to do it. That is going to be March 10th through March 14th. We'll be here with all sorts of lovely content, lovely things to do with you guys, awesome live streams, really fun content. It's going to be a fun week. We're excited to be a part of that with all of you. DJ, tell the people at home what we're getting into next, my friend. What are we getting into?
Yeah, what we're getting into next is, this is what you got to bring. Sometimes they provide it to you. Sometimes you got to bring it to your audition. And you just got to perform the monologue.
The monologue. That's right, baby. The monologue is our very quick segment where we just quickly talk about some movies and TV shows that are coming out in the next week so that you guys can keep in touch with some of the hottest, wonderful things that are releasing for all of you that you may or may not want to spend your money on. Firstly, today, Captain America Brave New World released. If you're here for this episode, you already knew that. That's coming out in theaters. Next, the wonderful sequel to a wonderful movie known as Paddington in Peru has dropped in theaters today. As well as a movie called The Gorge. That is, what's her name? Anya
Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy, thank you. Her new movie up on Apple TV came out today. Looks like a horror movie, but not a horror movie. It was weird. The movie with the hit actor Mark Wahlberg, aka Flight Risk, is out on VOD today. Maybe hesitate on that one though. You know what I'm saying? Maybe wait on that one.
Fuck you, Mark Wahlberg.
Fuck Mark Wahlberg.
Fuck you.
And then the big one, Yellow Jacket Season 3 dropped today on Paramount Plus. Unfortunately, my lovely partner is out of town this weekend, so I'm gonna have to fucking wait until Monday to watch that. Hate that for me.
That sucks, man.
That's okay. That's all right. I'll play with my balls. Sunday, February 16th. We have The White Lotus Season 3 drops on Max, as well as Family Guy Season 23 drops for Fox on Sunday as well. And then we don't really have a whole lot going on the other days that we're not mentioning. So Tuesday, February 18th, Mufasa the Lion King hits VOD. You guys will be able to rent and or purchase that movie. Companion hits VOD that day as well. And then the hit movie Nosferatu will be hitting DVD and Blu-ray that day. And then lastly, next Friday, we have just one for you guys. The Monkey is hitting theaters. And yes, we will be doing a review of that wonderful movie. It'll be a fun time. Okay, I think I got the weird throat. It's cleared out now. I think the weird throat's good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Sure.
Guys, listeners, you can come back. The weird throat's gone.
Yeah, weird throat's gone. Yeah, just letting people know. Weird throat
left the building.
Problem, you know what I'm saying? That went right out the door.
Had security escort weird throat out of there.
Yeah, got assigned.
That's my new D&D character. Actually, I'm gonna
weird throat.
Weird throat.
Yeah.
DJ, you know what we're doing next. What are we doing next, man?
Well. Or no, I'm going on a little bit of a monologue, since we just did the monologue, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The people deserve not just the first shoot. They don't deserve the bloopers. They deserve the final cut.
The final cut. Boom. We'll do a boom sound. That sounds good. Guys,
big
tonight.
boobs?
Yeah, big. For sure, dude. Yeah. Tonight for the final cut, we are talking Captain America: Brave New World, baby. That's right. Let's see here. Sam finds himself in the middle of an international incident. After meeting with President Thaddeus Ross, he must soon discover the reason behind a nefarious global plot before the true mastermind has the entire world seeing red. I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they did that. That's fucking terrible. Released on the well-known Deventine's Day, February 14th, 2025. Directed by one Julius Ona, who has worked on the Cloverfield Paradox as well as Loose. Written by a team of writers. Mostly through the core writing and then the rewrites that they had to do. Rob Edwards, Malcolm Spellman, and Delon Mousson, where they respectively worked on Treasure Planet, the original Treasure Planet, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as well as The Golden Compass. Music was done by one Laura Cartman, who has worked on Lovecraft Country, What If, the animated Marvel series, and The Marvels, as well as Miss Marvel. This movie had a budget of $180 million. A box office so far as of earlier this afternoon, 12.1 million, and a runtime of 1 hour and 58 minutes. Some fun facts for you guys. This movie was originally titled Captain America: New World Order. However, the title was later changed to Captain America: Brave New World. Although Marvel Studios never released a statement as to why, most speculate it was changed due to the phrase New World Order possibly being linked to anti-Semitism. That's fair. That's fair. Probably a smart decision that they did that. One poster features Sam blocking Red Hulk's punch with his shield. This is an homage to the cover of Captain America number 230 from February 1979, drawn by one Ron Wilson. And then lastly here, just a little update for people. Harrison Ford replaces the late William Hurt as Thaddeus Ross, making this Ford's first appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This also marks the 6th time a role was recast in the MCU. The previous 5 were Don Cheadle as War Machine, who replaced Terrence Howard, Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, who replaced Edward Norton, Zachary Levi, who I totally didn't fucking realize was in the MCU, as Fandral, and he replaced Josh Dallas. And then Ross Marquand as Red Skull, aka Jesus from The Walking Dead. And he replaced Hugo Weaving. And then Catherine Newton as teenage Cassie Lang, who replaced Emma Furman because she was very young. Several roles were also recast in What If from 2021. Ford is the first casting replacement due to a real-life death. Hurt passed away on March 13th, 2022. Rest in peace, Thunderbolt Ross. Rest in peace, man. Mm-hmm. Guys, let's talk about this movie. We all went and saw it. It is quite the experience, and I'm happy we get a chance to talk about this. It's been a while since we gotten a chance to do a review for Marvel content with Genesaw, so I'm actually going to pass the ball to you, the Queen of Bitchin'. Genesaw, what were your thoughts on Captain America: Brave New World?
Okay, I have to start out with the very obvious. I love Anthony Mackie so much.
Hell fucking yeah.
Anything that I can do to get this man on my screen is I love it. I think he's just a very talented actor, and he's very fun to look at.
Ain't that right?
And that's what I look for in an actor.
For sure. Me too. Retweet.
How pretty are you, and how drama are you? And Anthony Mackie is just like, he's such the perfect amount of like he brings, especially for the MCU. I think it's really important for actors to bring levity as well as weight, right? Like they have to walk this tightrope of um of being, especially with the MCU right now and like in the last several years, it's been dark, it's been gritty, and so they have to
Yeah.
be ready to bring that, but they also have to be ready to pull you out when you need to and give you a breath of fresh air. And Anthony Mackie is the man for that job. From the very first second that he popped into Captain America and the Winter Soldier, I think is where we first saw him.
Yeah.
In this role, I loved him. I would honestly like when that movie, I've watched that movie a ridiculous amount of times, by the way. I think I saw it in theaters like 7 times. It was ridiculous.
Wait,
My
which one?
obsession
Which
with
one?
that movie. Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Good movie. Good movie. Fucking good movie.
I watched it so many times. And I like the scene where we meet Sam Wilson. That's his name, right? Is that
Sam
his
Wilson.
name?
Yeah.
That's not his name. Sam Wilson. Okay. When we meet Sam Wilson, he like I just thought it was so fun, like how they were just running together. And like I thought that was like I think that his character in general has always been really interesting because he came in as a younger character to Captain America, but I always saw him as a bit of a mentor, right?
Sure.
That's who he was,
yeah.
right? He was always a mentor, and he was also, I think he was that breath of fresh air for Steve, because Steve lived such a solitary life, and I think that at the moment when we see him again in that movie in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, he was very isolated, and I think he felt very weighed down by the weight of having to be Captain America and being pulled into a very different, very very violent world.
Right.
With that had machinery and things that they didn't have. And so bringing Anthony Mackie in as Sam Wilson was always, I thought it was just such a brilliant move. I think that his character brought a joy to Steve Rogers that he really needed. And since we've seen him take on the mantle of, first we saw him as his own, as Falcon in the Winter Soldier, we saw him as his own main character in Falcon. And then him taking on the mantle of Captain America. I think that transition was really interesting. I loved the move personally. I loved the move of making him Captain America. What I will say is, like, going into this movie, I had a lot of expectations because of how much I love this character. I love Sam Wilson so much. I can't say that enough. Like, as I'm talking to you guys, like, I'm just thinking about all of the amazing moments that he had in his own show and throughout the rest of the MCU that we've seen him in. He's such a wonderful character. And I will say, I think that this movie was a bit of a letdown for me because I don't think that it allowed Sam Wilson to be his full self. I feel like he was watered down a bit. Like, I feel like he got to be more of a main character when he was second string to Steve Rogers personally.
Okay.
It felt like in this movie they were trying to, like, they were focused on a message that didn't feel to me, and this is not a criticism of the character or of him taking on the role of Captain America, because I felt like all of that was done really well, and it's not a criticism of how Anthony Mackie played. He came to this role 110%, but I had issues with the script and the overall theme of the film, because it felt like they were watering down Sam Wilson to me. He's a very, and not just Sam Wilson, but Captain America. Captain America has been anti-government from like the beginning.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like maybe in the first movie not as much, but after that he was anti-government so hard. And this movie I feel like had less of that, and I think that they wanted him to be a little less anti-government because it felt to me like the writers were worried about it being controversial to have Anthony Mackie and Sam Wilson as Captain America, and I was like, they shouldn't have been. He's wonderful. He's been wonderful since day one, and then they put him into this script and into this conflict that I felt didn't match him, and it didn't match Captain America.
Okay.
To me. I feel like Captain America, whether Steve Rogers or Sam Wilson, would have been a harder hitter in this situation. I feel like he would have been a lot more I don't know, like subversive. Like if he would have swerved so hard when he was given the Captain America is like he's meant to swerve. He's meant to like go against what complacency and mainstream politics. Like that's, in my opinion, that's who he is as a superhero.
Right.
He very much looks for the injustices in the American political social justice system, like your justice system in general. He looks for that and he targets it. You know, like that's who he is. And I felt that this movie could have done that more directly. I feel like it could have done it harder. But what I will say is I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed Anthony Mackie being back on our screens. I enjoyed the character relationships that they had. I feel like that's also one of the strongest points for me in Captain America movies is that Captain America has always had really strong relationships. And there are other superheroes who haven't had that from the beginning. And Marvel has been getting better at that relationship building. We've seen it. We talk about it a lot in the, like with Miss Marvel, because not only does she have like her community of friends, which a lot of superheroes have, but she has her family. And that's just intense. Like that's cool. Like I think superheroes are made to have community. That's part of what makes them powerful. That's part of what makes them interesting is the people around them and how they work together. It's why we like Avengers movies so much and we keep going back to them.
Yeah, right.
we love seeing them joke together on the screen and fight and make up, and we love all of that. And I could very clearly see them making those introductions of like, what is Captain America going to look like now that that support system is now becoming the main character. I felt that was done really well. They had a character set up to kind of move into the Falcon role, and they brought in some other characters that I think did that pretty well and brought in some witty banter. I did go into this movie being like, man, what are they going to do with the catchphrases? Because Captain America had such good catchphrases, and so does Sam Wilson. Like he has his own as Falcon that relied on Steve Rogers being Captain America. On your left, and like that. Like they're so good. I can do this all day, and so I saw the nods to those, like to Steve Rogers' Captain America. There was a really good one that I won't spoil for you guys, but he said it and I was like, oh, because he didn't say the catchphrase, but he like responded to it almost.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. I was there like, yeah, he did the thing. Yeah, and it was fun. It was definitely fun, but it was also like they did some really cool like camera work in this movie. Like that stood out to me. Like they had some awesome shots. Especially with I believe in the trailers we know that we have the OG Avenger in this movie. Or not the OG what's he called? The OG Isaiah?
Isaiah, yeah. Isaiah
Bradley?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
he's
OG
the
Captain
something.
America, the hidden Captain America, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, the OG super soldier. That sort of thing. And they had some really cool camera shots of like with Isaiah and Sam, and like getting to see them like mirror each other and like reflected back in each other, and like they did some cool stuff. I felt that was also like subtle, right? Like it was blink and you miss it. It was really cool. But yeah, I liked it. I had some issues with the villain, that goes back to my just overall points about the problems that I had with the conflict. That felt iffy to me. But
Sure.
yeah, overall I had a good time. I enjoyed it. I love Sam Wilson. I'm excited to see him back on my screen again and again and again. And I hope next time they let him be a bit meaner to America.
Sure. I like it. DJ, we pass the ball to you now, sir. What were your thoughts on Captain America: Brave New World?
I mean, I'm basically gonna be repeating everything that Genesee said, because it's like, genuinely, I enjoyed this movie, but some of the writing, especially with Anthony Mackie's character Sam Wilson as Captain America, just felt off. Like I feel like that's not what he, like Genesee said, he felt more of a main character while he was Falcon at Steve Rogers' side. Like, you would root for him because, like, you don't expect much from the Falcon. He's just, as a viewer and as like people within the world just look at him like, oh, he's just a guy that flies. But when you see him start kick ass in those other films that he's featured in, you're like, okay, yeah, all right, I like this, and even in the show with Captain America and Winter Soldier, talking to Winter Soldier, sorry, and he starts to have that arc of like, okay, like, I'm trying to become Captain America. Like, how do I do that? How do I be a hope for the people? And you see him work with Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes, and that duo is just really nice to see. But in this film, I couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't connect. I couldn't find that thing. I kept wondering and thinking to myself while I was watching the film. I was like, am I like with another film that we reviewed this year? Like, am I enjoying this? Am I like where am I having fun? Am I not having fun? Because like because like sometimes I've been struggling with that lately. It's like, am I like, is this movie not hitting or am I not hitting? But
right.
Yeah. So because I don't want to I don't want to be hard on movies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like I'm here for whimsicality and fun, right? So like, if I'm having a bad day, I'll just chalk it up to me being not being cool or whatever. But the writing here just feels weird, and I know this film was filmed a year or so before, had a lot of reshoots, had a lot of different things going on, but with the current climate of America right now, like outside the movie, it just feels weird to watch. All this patriotism. It's like, I'm not feeling this right now, guys. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not feeling I should believe in the evil guy at the top. I don't think I want to feel sympathy right now.
Right.
Despite what they might say.
And that's never been what Captain America is about.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like Cap's always been about, I'm here for the people. Like, I'm not here with all this government and politic bullshit. I'm not here for the red lines in the sand. I'm here I'm saving people no matter what. You can't control me. And like, then they had they even mentioned it in the film, right? About the Sokovia Accords, and how big a deal that was, that caused that, that whole deal with the Avengers. And then it's basically like, that's basically like an extension into this film, which it just feels weird to mention it and be like, oh, that was a pretty bad time, we shouldn't let it do that, and then just let them do that again, basically, without the Avengers. So it just feels weird. I do like the concept, that like the themes of what they're going for in this film, though. Really subverting expectations in terms of the plot, because the trailers made it seem like this movie was going to go one way, but the movie actually went a different way than I expected, in my opinion, because I didn't watch too much of the other trailers. I just see the trailers that they preview at other other screenings, right?
Yeah,
In movies
right, yeah.
before, right? But yeah, like the plot took a direction I didn't expect, but at the same time, I feel like if this movie wasn't tied to Marvel, right? And we got like, or I mean, Marvel has done like rated R stuff, but I feel like if they leaned into the darker themes that they were portraying in some of these scenes, right? I felt like if they could use it the entire film, I felt like it would have been a lot more impactful because they were trying to toe the line between like, oh, it's Captain America superhero, but at the same time they're like, oh, there's like, a hostage situation. There's like, like espionage, government espionage, and domestic terrorism, right? So like, it could have been a darker tone, and I think the movie would have been more enjoyable. And like, you could write in where like Sam is like has to go against the grain, to go against maybe his beliefs and his code to like try to get what he wants, right? To try to get what he needs to save the people that, and that could have been a whole arc of itself, right? Because that's basically the movie. It's like, I'm not trying to replicate Steve Rogers. I'm just trying to give people hope without taking the super soldier serum. I want to try to be a hero that everyone is looking up to me for, as right. And that's kind of, I think the movie would have been better that way. But again, to say all that, it's still a good movie. I see a lot of people shitting on this movie for this, that, and the other. Most of it for bullshit reasons. Like woke DEI, Captain America's never black, whatever. And some valid criticism, like you said, like with the script, with some of the writing. But overall, it felt pretty good, pretty nice. Um, I like Joaquin Torres's character. It's kind of Joaquin Torres, and he's like kind
That's
of
fun.
the sidekick. Like he's the sidekick, but also at the same time, it's like what um Sam Wilson needs. Just like how Cap needed Sam, and because like Joaquin is like way off the rails. He's like enthusiastic. He's gung ho. He's ready to get into the action by any means necessary, and in a way that Sam Wilson has to teach him restraint and why. Which also what he kind of needs for himself, right? At the same time, because Sam is, despite being very charismatic, very funny and lighthearted, he's still very like by the rules, by the book, at most of the time, right? And Joaquin being like this firecracker is something that I love the dynamic between those two, and it feels like big brother, little brother, in a sense. But overall, the way the villain was set up, I was like, uh, eh, you know, I wish he looked cooler. That's the only thing. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
guy's walking around in like a messy button up and some jeans.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm like, I don't know if this is. I'm not intimidated, man. Like he could have like. There was some scenes where like he took his hat off, like you could see his head, and you're like, okay, I see what you're working with, brother, but you're not menacing enough. Like I don't know. I feel like the costume designers could have went with like a jumpsuit, like a cool jumpsuit would work well with that
Or like
character.
a suit, like a nice
Yeah, like
suit,
yeah, nice suit.
a good suit can be menacing, like a
Yeah,
really something bespoke.
yeah, like he could do the like I know this is DC, but like Harvey Dent, right? Harvey Dent,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
he
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
wear a
yeah.
suit, right? Like he wears that suit and
Mhm.
like half his face is like fucked up like that, half of himself is like, fucked up like that.
Yeah.
But the suit is what makes him like, oh okay, this guy he does not give a fuck.
Right.
Okay, he's
Mhm.
Right.
like I'm here, but like I understand with the character in this film, like why he dresses that way, but like come on, man, like give me something, a jumpsuit. I don't know, give me like I don't know. I'm trying to think, a trench coat, maybe you go with a trench coat, something something to chew on. I don't like this. I don't like this like NPC fit, dude. This is the most NPC like guy who works in STEM that just walked across you at the coffee shop. You know what I mean?
No. He looked like a chemistry professor at a community college.
Yes.
Yeah, not university. Yes. Community college.
Community college. Yes. Like he does this for free, just like on his own. You know what I
mean? He's making 2 pennies an hour. Gotta rub them together for some coffee.
That's it.
It's like he's stuck in like, you know, like stuck early 2000s, you know what I mean? Like it's just like he probably has a CRT somewhere, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like just
man.
Because like costuming, lighting, video, it all tells us something about the character, and what we're supposed to believe about this character is that he's a mastermind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
and
what
like
we're supposed to believe.
I mean, Einstein had a better fit in Oppenheimer, dude. Like I you know what I mean? Like I feel like you could have done way better. Like I guess like for his character, you know, he doesn't give a fuck because he's all about just calculation, probabilities, and all this. But
like, he does give a fuck. He is vain.
He gives a lot of fucks, actually.
Yeah, because he had the hat when he pulled up to the house.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah,
he was dressed up. And I thought I liked that fit a little bit more than his other one.
Yeah, dude, for real.
And the whole plot revolves around him being mad that he's ugly. Basically,
yeah, but he never mentions it. But like, even in the shots, like leading up to this reveal, right? I was so confused. I was like, are they blurring his face? Like, I was like trying to lean in. I was like, what's going on? Like the shots, it just didn't make sense. I was like, what am I looking at? Like, what am I supposed to see? Like, remember in the scene where Thaddeus calls up his guy, Cooper, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you have eyes on the prisoner? I got eyes on him right now. Like, I see him. And like it cuts to him staring at a wall. I was so confused for like those 5 minutes. I was like, "What?"
That like, was a really the guy fucking confusing scene,
like, or
dude.
like in front of them, the shot, right?
Yeah,
like because like he was faced like backward, like just to the wall, like this. Where I thought like maybe the guy was in front of him, you know. But I just like later I realized, oh, it's a wall. But I don't know. Like there's some interesting choices when it comes to the cinematography here, but the action scenes are really nice. Action choreography really cool. Made Sam Wilson look like a freaking badass, even though he does get hit.
Cool.
Yeah, even though he does get hit, I think they hammer the point like home too much in the fact that he's like vulnerable. Like he's just like, oh, my rib, and then like, oh, my arm. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, you know, like just. You've been hit before, Sam. Like, you know, this is not new to you. You know, this is not new. I can't believe it. What made me laughing. I'm laughing now thinking about it, but like the evil, the big bad just turns up and hits you with a heart attack ray, and like the guy keels over.
I hated that scene.
Like that was so pointless. I was like, is nobody? So you're telling me a whole squadron, a whole squad of elite Navy SEALs.
Hey, don't say too much. Don't say too much.
Don't notice their CO walk away on the phone.
Yeah.
And just get hit with a heart attack.
Yeah. No, don't say too much. Don't say too much. But yes, you're 100% right.
I have another more vague question.
Okay.
How does geography work in this movie?
It doesn't.
Because
that's the
they're
point.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
they're like
it doesn't.
They're like
everywhere.
The dude has no physical powers, but he can fly. He can fly. He can teleport. He's actually in all places at all times because of probability.
At all times.
Like why? Okay, who was Okay. I'm not gonna go into spoiler territory. I just want to present the question. Remember, he just pulled up to the house. Like, whose house was that? Like, why was he there?
It was.
Why was he there?
They were so
Why was that
nondescript
house?
about it. So the guy, they show that guy's photo on the wall like two scenes
Okay.
prior for like
he's
2
one
seconds.
Of the,
2 seconds.
but we're like, we see there's a shot of
Why?
them on the floor, and we're like, are we supposed to care? Like, who are these people?
No,
Like,
we don't care, dude. Like, that's the problem.
like, can I borrow? Like, you're telling me this guy's a mastermind? He goes to a house to borrow a fucking phone? Are you serious? Are you
Like, he
fucking
can do all of
serious?
this stuff. He can manipulate brain chemistry, but he can't fake a zip code. Like,
Yeah,
he
like you
can't.
can get an eSIM and like, you know, man, like like what do you mean?
Or hire somebody like
Oh my
like
god,
outside of computer
dude.
hacking.
He could mind control somebody to do it. He had a whole team. He could have had a forward. He could have had a forward operating base somewhere near the Indian Sea. He could have just been orchestrated from there.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
I agree.
why is this guy's power so vast yet so limited? Like, I've never seen such wasted potential. Like, what do you mean? Like, mastermind of what? Like, what?
Yeah.
Your garage? Like, I don't understand, man. Like
DJ, your final
this
thoughts,
guy-
man. Your final thoughts, brother.
Final thoughts. It's all right. This movie's all right. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. It's a good movie. Just some choices in very interesting choices within the movie that hinder it a little bit for me. But I love Sam Wilson in this. We see a returning character in a different uniform, and I thought
Interesting
that's
moment there.
very interesting. And I didn't expect that. I was like, oh, okay. Well, we're doing that now. Okay, cool.
I was
Cool.
confused. I'm still confused. If you're talking about the same person, I have so many questions.
Yeah, like what he pulls up in the suit, you know what I mean? Like
The suit that the bad guy should have been wearing, yeah.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. And who is that security lady? I haven't caught up on.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
know
so
who she is.
there's tea with this character, okay? So
Her?
her technically her superhero name is Sabra. And she is an Israeli superhero. And that is a big part of why people felt that the name change happened, and where people are having feelings about this movie, because they cut one actress after having had been vocal about their opposition to what was happening in Gaza, but they kept this lady. So there was a whole other actress that was supposed to be playing a character. Her name was Rosa Salazar. She played Alita Battle Angel. But she was supposed to play a character in this movie called Diamondback. But her character got completely cut from the movie after she had openly spoke against the atrocities of the Gaza Strip. And yeah, they cut her and left Sabra Lady in here. So arguably problematic, but yeah.
Yeah, is the actress who plays this character even Israeli?
She is, yes. She's an Israeli actress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She also has a very big head for her
You could be
tiny
Israeli
body.
and also not support the.
True. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So maybe she's show, but
But Genesal was asking in terms of like, are they at least casting an Israeli woman as an Israeli character, right?
Okay. I thought you meant like Israel. Like I thought like that she was just the actor.
Yeah. Because Genesee and I like to try to make sure they're at least relatively keeping track of that shit. Like if you're gonna have an MCU kit, because they fucking flopped on Scarlet Witch. We had a whole episode about it a long fucking time ago, DJ. Yeah. They super flopped on fucking Scarlet Witch.
It is
because she's supposed to be Romani anyway. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's another character I had a question about.
Okay.
I probably won't get the answer until after, but it was the correspondent, the kind of the for Thaddeus Ross, kind of that Sam talks to a lot, Taylor. She the black woman.
Oh yeah. No, she's a new character. She's a new
agent?
character.
Character?
They didn't establish a whole lot of backstory to their relationship between those two.
Because I was having my theories in my head. I'm like, who could that be in terms of like the list of superheroes?
Right now, she's just a Secret Service agent.
Yeah,
to my
but like
knowledge.
she gets a
Okay.
good amount of screen time. So that's why I was wondering. I was like, they
I
don't just
think
give this character like screen time. Like, you know what I mean?
I think they're softball trying to find Sam Wilson a romantic interest. Is my theory.
Okay.
I think. Which Bucky Barnes is right there. Like they just need to do it.
They just need to commit, right? Like, yeah.
They flopped once. They just need to kiss. For the love of God.
Now smooch.
Now smooch. That's all I want. Just a little. I don't even need a sex scene. Just a little.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't care. I don't have a big Sam Wilson could be asexual for all I care. I'm not invested in his love life because I don't care if he falls in love. He's funny. He kicks ass. That's what he's here for. Bucky Barnes, on the other hand, I want that man to be with a man so bad.
Yeah. They
so bad.
They queer coded the fuck out of them in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was but that's a whole other podcast episode. We'll get there when we get there. But Jesus Christ.
Sebastian Stan would just look like so good kissing a dude.
I love you so much. I love you so much.
You know what we need to do? We need to bring in Mr. Handsome from Jonathan Bailey from Bridgerton, he was just in something else, Wicked. We need to bring Mr. Handsome in, and he can be a superhero that I don't know sings or some shit. And
I love Genesaw fanficking Marvel characters with this Rubik's Cube in her hand. We got, wouldn't it be great?
And then they kiss. Yeah, I mean Harry Styles is already in the MCU, so they just need to bring them together.
But who knows when that's gonna fucking become a thing again? You know what I'm saying?
Literally, who? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's like Sparkle Boy already, and Harry is in real life bisexual, so it's like he could kiss Becky Barnes. I think that would be good for him. Like Bucky has so many mental issues. I think he could use a good Sparkle Boy.
A little kissy, a little smoochy smooch to kiss all the pain away.
Smooch with an intergalactic hookup. That's what the doctor ordered.
DJ, anything else, my friend?
No, I think that's
okay. No sweat.
DJ.
Yeah, I mean, this movie's fine. It's fine. You know, it's fine. It's fun. I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it, and that's about as far as I went with that. You know what I mean? It was cool. I mean, there was more fun than there was bad stuff, but there still was a good, decent mound of bad stuff. You know what I mean? There was just a lot of inconsistencies. And now here's the thing. I'll go a little bit back and forth here because this movie is kind of this weird anomaly within the Marvel library, right? The Marvel movies are a large spectrum of fucking awful, Madam Web, to aggressively mid, you know what I mean? All the way up to...
Wait, wasn't that Sony? Wasn't Madam Web Sony?
Yeah, it was, but you know what I mean, though. You know, like Marvel movies in general, right? It's just there's a whole plethora of different ranges of goodness and badness in Marvel, and this movie was weird because for every very not good thing that they did one kind of cool thing, and it just kept bouncing back and forth to me. You know, the whole entire opening act, opening scene for this movie with the whole coming in, introducing Sidewinder, stuff like that was so much fun. So much fucking fun. That was such a good way to like get us back into like the Captain America mix and like introducing like the whole like, you know, world of like the serpents and stuff like that. And like just kind of like really getting into like the juice, just hitting the fucking gas right off the cuff was really fucking cool. And then like they just have such like boring dialogue in between like major scenes in this movie. I don't know, like it's just like it sort of felt to me like a lot of this movie was them just trying to like continue with the conversation they were having in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier without like overcommitting to just doing it again. You know, like there were, how do we like continue that conversation just a little bit more, just a little bit fucking longer, right? Because the entirety of that show was about like Sam Wilson and like him now taking up that mantle and like struggling with like his identity with taking it because he didn't feel he deserved it. And now we're talking about like, okay, well, so he's taken on the mantle now, but for whatever reason, he still doesn't feel like he deserves it, right? Like he's we're still talking about the same fucking thing. And that show was 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to kind of like move on in this fucking movie, and they don't let us fucking move on in this fucking movie. But the choreography for the fight scenes were really fucking cool. There were some moments I really did think that the new Falcon kid is very charming. His character is a lot of fun, and he's like, I felt like I gave more of a fuck about him than a majority of the other characters in this movie. And that's where I kind of want to be for like a new potential Avenger, you know, it's a new someone getting caught up in the mix of things. And then they just gave us this like super fucking lame villain who, by the way, Marilyn referred to as Pickle Rick after the movie was done.
Fuck yeah. That's a great name for him.
She said, and I quote, "When they showed Pickle Rick on the screen, I checked out," is what she said.
Yeah.
And like, my problem with this guy, with this villain, is they're like, because he's supposed to be like the Marvel version of the DC villain Brainiac, right? They're both super smart. They're both like so smart that they can just outmaneuver everybody. They're one step ahead of everybody all the fucking time. He didn't feel like he was like one step ahead of everybody. He just felt like he had like a bunch of shit already sort of like done. And because no one knew who the fuck this guy was, no one could stop it because it was all just all like already done. He just like, he was like, I've been in here for 16 years, right? Like, well, fucking whatever the fuck he said. I don't remember exactly how long he said, but he's like, I've been down here for a long fucking time, right? And you're like, oh, wow, that's crazy. What'd you do with all that time? Everything I'm going to do in this movie. So you're telling me you're the worst Batman ever because you had all this time, like fucking 2 decades of prep time, and this is the best you could fucking do. Like Baron Zemo was a better version of this villain in every capacity, and we already got Baron Zemo twice actually. And
he was a wannabe Zemo. He was off-brand.
He was just boring Baron Zemo, and like I would have wanted them to kind of just try, because they sort of just use him as a plot device to get us to Red Hulk, right? That's kind of all he's there for. It's like, how do we explain how that happens? Oh, we'll fucking throw Pickle Rick in, right? Just tag him in.
Which like, yeah, which you didn't. You could have done the same thing the same way with that character in the movie for like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Everything that character, that Pickle Rick, did in this movie could have been boiled down to like 15 minutes, and then just let fucking Sidewinder be like a little bit more of a problem, and then that leads into the Red Hulk stuff. And they could have just done so much more with that, you know what I'm saying? So like that was a huge fucking bummer. But then they make up some of that ground, because everything that has to do with Sam Wilson and Isaiah Bradley, I was here for it. I was in. I was locked the fuck in for that relationship. Because like for whatever, I have a weird soft spot for like old guys. in movies, right? Like the grandpas, they're like, "Oh, grandpa," you know what I'm saying? Like, and like there's a loved one. Oh no, they're in trouble, right? Like, I have an even bigger soft spot for, like an old black man who's like, "I ain't going back." You know what I'm saying? Like that part, fucking like took me seconds. I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, I don't like that. I don't like the way that's making me feel
I
right
cried.
now." Yeah, that was right. It was
I
a
cried.
bad spot for real because it's like your senile grandpa like running out and he's like, "What's going on?" And you're like, "Ah, fuck! I have to explain that you just punched a baby or something like that." You know what I'm saying? Like how like it's terrible. It's such a terrible situation to like have Sam Wilson caught up in. But I loved their relationship. I wish they would have brought Isaiah Bradley's grandson into this movie at some point for whatever reason. They don't.
Miles, wherever
Yeah.
his name is,
Miles, like I wish they would have brought him into this movie at some point, like even just like a quick, "Oh hey, this character still exists," right? You know, like something like that. They didn't do that, and then we get back to all these characters that just like don't make any fucking sense in this movie. Have no reason to really be in this movie. Decide just kind of be more plot devices, more plot stepping stones across just to get us to where we are in the final act. But then they have this like really cool like way of carrying them into like making Celestial Island make sense again, and like the God, dude, this movie's such a conundrum. I want to hate this movie and I want to really like this movie, and I can't feel too strongly in either direction because there's this is like so much good and so much not good. You know what I mean? Like Harrison Ford is, I think, fucking awesome in this movie. I think he did a fucking stellar job in this movie. I think he was a better Thunderbolt Ross than the original Thunderbolt Ross, to be completely honest with you. I believed Harrison Ford more than I liked William Hurt. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to him, obviously, because he obviously was Thunderbolt Ross.
The writing for Thunderbolt Ross in this movie like just is really well done. I just wish that transferred over to Sam Wilson.
I wish they would have done that stellar writing for everybody in this
like,
fucking
it was
movie.
a nice arc.
Yeah.
Like I could really see like where they're going with that. And I'm like, okay, that's a good payoff. I like that. You know, I like that arc for Thunderbolt Ross.
It was a good payoff.
I didn't like his arc.
Oh, really?
I wanted him to die.
I know you're not crazy about like assholes getting redemption arcs.
I hate redemption arcs. And you know why?
He gets his punishment though, Genesaw. He gets his punishment.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Fuck him. Prison is too good. Fuck that. No. His daughter still talks to him? No. No. I hate redemption arcs. Because they don't fucking deserve them. They deserve death.
I was thinking, I was like, hey, when we saw the fight break out and they're like roaming through the streets and shit, I was like, damn, like somebody definitely died during that whole sequence.
Yeah,
like somebody killed somebody. Like I was like, huh. I was like,
yeah.
Speaking of death in the streets.
Oh,
I will
segue.
say,
okay.
I will say,
yeah.
segue, because before this movie, one of the trailers that played was for the Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah, a movie that will be very good.
We were just talking about redemption arcs. The one redemption arc that I am actually kind of interested in is Discount Captain America. I forget the dude's name, but
John.
Yeah.
Clark? John Clark?
Whatever the fuck. It's like John White dude.
U.S. agent
5.
or whatever the fuck.
U.S. agent, that's his like
agent.
superhero name. But it's John something. Mm-hmm. John Malkovich. Let's call him John Malkovich for now.
That's not his
name. With the schnoz.
It's like a really generic white person name.
It is that, which is the whole point, right? It's the whole point. U.S. agent name was
like John Wade or some shit.
John Walker. That's what it is. John Walker.
John Walker.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and I'm kind of interested in his redemption arc because it does relate to this movie. Because something that I loved from the very first Captain America movie was the speech where the doctor explains to Steve Rogers why he chose him. I have an unnatural obsession with that speech.
It's a good scene. It's a good scene.
It's a good scene. I love that speech. And I was thinking of that, and obviously that was really poignant. I almost wish they would have like played it over one of the scenes with John Walker in that show, because I was thinking about it the whole time I was watching that show of like, the serum enhances whatever you are. And John Walker, it wasn't that he was a bad dude.
No.
But he was an ordinary dude who should not have been enhanced. And he was enhanced. And so the pressure got to him in a way that made him volatile. Right. And so that's why I'm interested in his redemption arc, because he shouldn't have been put in that position in the first place.
Well,
and I don't think that was entirely his fault. I think that was U.S. decision making, right? And so once again, the villain is the United States government. But like, I felt that when, because Sam Wilson kept talking in this movie about like, oh man, should have taken the serum. I'm like, he should, because he has those qualities. Like I would love to see him with the serum, because like, not only would his like be more, but like he's such a caretaker and an advocate, and like those are the principles of who he is, and I would love to see that enhanced.
I love like Genesaw was like, I don't like Thunderbolt Ross's redemption arc. He's still gets forgiven, and then John Walker literally smashes someone's fucking head in with a shield, but he deserves
with a shield
with a whole ass smash in front of everyone. Like,
okay, he's like, it would be cool to see it. It could see tried.
I'm interested. I'm open to his redemption arc. I'm open.
Okay, fair. Rephrasing. I appreciate
Thunderbolt
that.
Ross. No, get that.
I respect it. I respect it.
That was his fault. That was his fault. Captain America
fault.
smashing in a dude with the shield was Ross's fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not. He was a symptom. Walker was a symptom. Like, Walker is just a mediocre white dude. Like, who was a soldier.
He has good values. Because remember in the show, he's like, yeah, I did lay on a grenade for like save like 6 men. Whatever.
Yep.
He
does have some things. He's just more interested in getting the reward for those things rather than that's what's problematic about him. He definitely makes for an interesting character, and that's why I'm excited about Thunderbolts generally as a movie, because all the characters in it are relatively interesting, like in some kind of way or another, with the exception of maybe Taskmaster. But we might figure out more about Taskmaster as we get into that movie, though. So that's okay. But as far as this movie, though, I think we're at a good point where we can talk about ratings. Genesaw, should people see this movie right away? And what are you giving it on your score?
I think that people should see this movie for Anthony Mackie. And for his bestie, the sidekick dude. He was great. They were a fun time. Yeah. I also do think that, like, I wouldn't say that this movie itself is like, oh, you have to see it now. But I do think that it is a form of solidarity to watch this movie, because people are not watching this movie because there's a Black Captain America. So if you care about giving a big fuck you to people who are not watching this movie, who would otherwise watch a Marvel movie, I think you should watch it. I think you should watch it now. I'm going to probably see it multiple times, because I am super on board with Anthony Mackie being Captain America. And like, did I not like the villain? Yeah, I didn't like the villain, but I will show my support for this Captain America in any way that I can. And the very first thing you can do is buy a fucking ticket to see his fucking movie. So that's what I'll say about it.
All right.
Hell yeah.
All right. Wait, did you give your score? I'm sorry. Did you give your score?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I give the movie like a 7, which I feel like is low for me because I'm a 10 out of 10 slut. But like, yeah. So I give it a 7 because it wasn't great, but like the parts of it that were great were really good. It just, they needed, this movie was like the no homo of politics. They were like, it's not political. It's not political.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that made it weak. That made the message weak.
Yeah, like if it was like more of a critique, you know what I mean? Like if there was some message like just slid in there, we'd be like, okay, I see what you're working with. Okay, this writing is fire. This writing is fire. You know what I mean? But no, it was just like, oh, okay, superhero. Captain America.
Oh great, dude. You know? Awesome. Yeah, I love that. Love that. Okay.
Like if they had made him like more like just more something, it would have been like 10 out of 10. Make him an anarchist. I don't care. Like something.
Yeah, man.
DJ.
What if Sam Wilson's a communist?
Communism.
There we go. Yeah. DJ, should people see this right away? And what is your score?
Yeah, you should. I would say so because bring a friend. It's cool to watch, right? Bring your Valentine's Day dates. I had to sit next to one. I had to sit next to a couple. Some reason they chose seats right next to me. I chose, because I put my seats in advance. I chose the middle, the row F.
Oh,
middle seat.
I hate it when people do that. Seat. Fuck them.
Look, no, and I'm like. And I'm like, okay, I see a woman like walk past me and then go to a seat over in my art. Cool. Like whoever husband, boyfriend comes in and they sit right next to me and I move my drink over and I'm like, and there's, by the way, no one else sat in the other row, like in this row. Nobody. I looked at my left, nobody else. Nobody else. I was like, excuse me? And like, I chose the middle seat on the side where like, because the entrance is on or the entrance to this theater is on this theater's on the left. So like I chose a little bit more to the right. So like the people who are with other people they get up faster and like they'll go and I'll go. But they sat to my right. And I'm like, excuse me. And they were talking like through the first part of the movie. Like they're like put
a special place in hell for them.
Yeah, they had a flashlight. They were looking for something, and I kept side-eyeing like what's going on over there? They had nachos, dude. They had a full platter of shit, and I was smelling the nachos. I'm like, fuck, I should have got nachos. It made me fucking jail. I was like, because all I got was a drink and fruit snacks. I got a West's fruit snacks, and I'm sitting there like.
Oh my God.
So DJ's answer is no. You should not go see this right away because a couple might sit down next to you and eat snacks.
It's Valentine's Day, so I mean, if you go see it now, you'll probably whenever you listen to this, it'll be fine. But I rate this movie a 7.5. Actually, it's
7.5. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I feel that. No, you don't need to see this right away. I don't think that this movie serves sorry, let me flip that. I don't think this movie is served by the theater experience. I think that you can if you are like a committed Marvel fan like we are, but I don't think that this movie is elevated by seeing it in theaters. You might just have a better time just being in the comfort of your home watching this movie instead. I don't know. It was a fine movie. I just really don't think that like people like need to like clamor for it right away. Because I don't feel like it like does a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Walk, don't run. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Like maybe see it in a few weeks. You know what I mean? Maybe see it in a couple weeks or like middle of next week, matinee time.
Yeah.
Go check it out because you got a day available. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Before lunch or after lunch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm like it could be served for the right person. I just don't think that it's an absolute need to go see this weekend. I'm going to give it a 6. A 6 feels right for me thinking about it. Yeah, a 6. Yeah. I'm going to give it a 6 because I do feel like I liked it generally speaking, but there were just enough tedious issues. Like this movie suffers from like death by 1,000 cuts. It's just like so many just like little tiny things. I was like, oh god, like why does he look like that? Why is the only cool thing about this guy is glowing green eyes? Like why is that like the only cool thing about this guy? They give the god, yeah. There's just so many things. With that said, that puts us at a 6.8. We round up, so this will be a 7 out of 10 from us here at 20,000 Films. Feels good, man. Feels good. Genesaw, thank you for joining us for this one.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Of course. I'm assuming that we'll be seeing you for, I think the next one's Thunderbolts, isn't it?
Thunderbolts? Fuck yeah.
I think so. Let me double check. Marvel movies 2025. Let's see here. Let's get to okay. Yeah. And 2025 and beyond. Because I'm wondering if it's Thunderbolts or if it's Fantastic Four. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Captain America: Brave New World. Daredevil show that comes out. Yeah, stoked for that one, dude.
Daredevil.
Yes, Thunderbolts, May 2nd. Daredevil comes out. Does it say? March 4th. March 4th.
Yep.
Yeah, so a couple weeks. Then yes, Thunderbolts, May 2nd will be dropping, so we'll definitely be doing a review on that boy. And we will see you guys then, because this has been 20,000 Films Under the Sea. Your choice for all the nerdy pop media news, reviews, discussions that you wanted each and every week. If you like that, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services near you. But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You can watch us record this show live right here at twitch.tv/Kraken Show. You can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, hitting subscribe and that little bell, all the little dingy dings, or by leaving a review on our podcast channel by searching 20,000 Films Under the Sea. I'll be right there waiting for you.
Waiting for you.
We have to get going. We have to go. Bye. We're leaving.